You are watching KAVU 25 News Now weekends at 5:30.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Amaya Norman. A man is facing a murder charge after a woman was found shot to death in a bank parking lot in North Carolina. Police say the shooting happened around 11 a.m. Friday in Northwest Charlotte, where officers found Ina Lane dead from a gunshot wound outside a Bank of America. Later that day, a SWAT situation in West Charlotte was linked to the homicide. Police took 22-year-old Simone Andrew Smith into custody and later charged him with murder. The investigation remains ongoing. And the father of a Georgia school shooting suspect is going to trial on murder and manslaughter charges. Colin Gray has pleaded not guilty to nearly 30 charges linked to the 2024 shooting at Appalachia High School. 2 students and 2 teachers were killed and 9 others were hurt. Jury selection starts Monday. Prosecutors say Gray let his teenage son have access to a gun even after warning about possible violence. Investigators say the gun used in the shooting was bought by the father months earlier. The case raises concerns about a parent's responsibility in school shooting. And 1 week after police say Nancy Guthrie was abducted from her home in dark of night, her children are grasping for some ways to get their mother returned. The 84-year-old now appearing on billboards in Phoenix, El Paso, San Antonio, and Houston as investigators hope for new leads. Here's ABC's Alex Stone with the latest on the investigation.
It has now been 1 week since Nancy Guthrie did not show up for church and her family reported her missing. Savannah and her siblings releasing another emotional Instagram post on Saturday evening.
We received your message and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace. This is very valuable to us. And we will pay.
Law enforcement sources told ABC News that message is the same one received by a Tucson television station on Friday. The FBI and Pima County Sheriff's Department said they had been analyzing it, but the sources said they had not determined its authenticity. An earlier, also unverified message included a deadline of tomorrow.
The release of the short message by the Guthrie family was very strategic. My guess is they had hostage negotiators working with them as far as wording. It also tells the bad guys that we are serious about this, and maybe most importantly for the bad guys, that we're going to pay.
Investigators have been focusing on a 45-minute period from the time a doorbell camera was disconnected, a possible intruder was detected inside, and Nancy Guthrie's pacemaker disconnected from her phone. The latest plea from the family coming after a day with no new investigative leads. The sheriff telling ABC's Aaron Katersky he continues to hold out hope she will be found alive.
She's out there. We're going to find her. We have to operate from that position.
The sheriff's department says there are no suspects, no vehicles identified as being connected, no video, and no proof the 84-year-old who's in fragile health is alive. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now let's go to Jacob Lozano with the first look at our forecast. Jacob, today is Super Bowl Sunday. I don't know who you're going for, but it's a beautiful day today. I hope you have this weather for the rest of the week.
Yeah, regardless of who wins, it's going to be nice and sunny and relatively on the warmer side here for us. Looks like a little rain chance here in the mix for the remainder of the week, but notice relatively nice skies outside. We do have a little bit of cloud irradiance here with some of the cloud cover that's very high up. That's why you see a little bit of rainbow color in some of these clouds that are rolling through based off the refraction of the light. But 77 degrees right now. Winds are out of the south at about 13 miles per hour. And it's going to be, let's just say, a bit on the warmer, muggy side here for tomorrow. We're starting off at 56, a little bit on the warmer side than what we have average for the low. But that also does pose a threat for some fog here once again for tomorrow morning. We're going to start to see it roll in here along the 59 corridor out east of Victoria County there by 8 p.m. Sunday. Then it does pick up here once again by 2 a.m. Monday and likely going to continue through the day or the early morning hours. And we'll start to see some dissipation here right around 8 a.m. But we do have 2 chances for some rain. We'll talk about that coming up. Maya?
Thank you, Jacob. The discussion surrounding a bond election in the Victoria Independent School District continues as the school board prepares for a special meeting. 25 News Now reporter Trenton Whiting joins us now to share the board's perspective. Trenton.
Amaya, our 25 News Now reporters got an exclusive interview with board president Micah Patton, who shared a few details about this bond proposal and what the board is looking at as they decide on the final details for a bond election. In December, a bond action committee proposed a $240 million plan to fund renovations for VISD schools, especially for elementary and middle schools.
We started small, and as time progressed, the needs became more evident, and the plan started to grow. It's an effort to fix a lot of issues that have just compounded over years.
Renovations include Torres, Patty Welder, Vickers, and STEM, places without major structural issues, plus a new elementary school for Dudley and Hopkins students.
These are cornerstone facilities, and we really want to keep them for the next 25, 30 years operating. What can we do to utilize them better?
Demolitions are part of the plan for O'Connor, Shields, and the original Stroman High, but Patton says there will be a plan for student movement.
We have capacity at a lot of our elementaries currently to be able to allocate those students to the nearest campus.
Patton says the tax rate change is one of the most discussed topics.
The combined school tax rate for Victoria ISD, which is 80 cents, it's currently 80 cents, is the lowest it's been in over 30 years. This plan, as proposed, would increase it $240 million, would increase it 21 cents. So it would put it right at $1.01, not 80 cents any longer. There's ways to lower our tax rate, our tax burden, through how we sell those bonds.
Patton says the plan is forward-thinking, fixing up current schools to last and giving students more modern and improved facilities.
There's things that we have to do, and that's really kind of how this started. What does VISD look like 10, 15, 25, 30 years from now?
Improvements are scheduled for other more recently built schools like the high schools, other middle schools, and elementary schools that don't need significant remodeling. VISD will be holding a special meeting at 5:30 this Thursday, February 12th, and they'll look to make a decision on whether or not they move forward with ordering a bond election. Amaya?
Thank you, Trenton. The Victoria College Fine Arts Department hosted its annual Empty Bowls event Sunday morning. The event invited community members to enjoy a simple meal while supporting a meaningful cause. Guests received a handcrafted bowl made by Victoria College art students, symbolizing the empty bowls faced by families experiencing food insecurities. All proceeds from the event will benefit local hungry relief organizations, helping provide meals to those in need across the crossroads. Organizers say the goal of Empty Bowl is not only to raise money, but also to raise awareness about hunger in the community, while showcasing student creativity through art.
Empty Bowls has been around for quite a while, and it supports many of the organizations here in the Crossroads area. We are grateful that we are part of it, and thankful that BC continues to do this program.
Organizers say events like Empty Bowls highlight how art can be used to bring people together and make a real impact in the community. And the Victoria County Commissioner Court is set to meet Monday morning at 10 a.m. at the Victoria County Courthouse in room 241, located at 115 North Bridge Street. On the agenda, commissioners will consider approving a request to pay $8,250 in assistance funds to the Bloomington Volunteer Fire Department. The funds will help cover a Texas Forest Service grant. And commissioners will also review and approve proposed changes to a grant for the Crossroads Regional Public Defender Office, which helps support legal defense services for residents in rural Texas. And for more local news, content, weather, and sports, come to our website at crossroadstoday.com. And if you see news happening, let us know. Call the number on your screen to contact our newsroom or email us your tips at staff@crossroadstoday.com. Watching a Super Bowl in the stands is a dream for many fans, but imagine attending every single one of them. Details next.
And temperature today, we're on the warm side. We got to 81 degrees with a low of 45. It's around average for the low, a little bit above average for the high, but it could be worse. It could be 91. We got a couple little rain chances in our forecast. We'll talk about that coming up.
Welcome back. This weekend marks 1 month since a federal agent shot and killed Renee Good in Minneapolis. On Saturday, thousands of people gather at a park to celebrate her life and honor her legacy. Here's more.
In the tradition of the first people of Minnesota, Indigenous leaders led a crowd of hundreds in honoring Renee Good and others killed by ICE, as they put it, to turn mourning into witness and witness into protection.
Pray for peace and nonviolence.
Wogiksuye is a Native American word meaning to remember. And though it is her death that made headlines, a rabbi read a message from Good's wife asking she also be remembered for how she lived.
I want Renee and our family to be known for how we practiced radical kindness every day. We know what we've seen. We know that this is wrong.
Good's heartbroken sister also spoke, clearly comforted by the outpouring of support.
We are so proud of how you show up for each other. My family is so grateful for you. Thank you for being my sister's home.
A home now in pain, where grieving locals braved the cold again, seeking the warmth of community.
I mean, I'm sad, but I'm also hopeful. I just feel like it's the last few weeks, it's just been cycling through hope and despair and hope and despair.
A lot of times the talk is so angry, which we have a place for anger too, but we need all the healing we can get over this thing, so.
The top lawyer for immigration and custom enforcement in Minnesota has left the agency. The Department of Homeland Security confirms Chief Counsel Jim Stoley retired after 31 years of service. The New York Times first reported his departure. Stoley's retirement comes the same week an ICE attorney was removed after telling a judge the Trump administration is overwhelmed with immigration cases. Minnesota courts have seen a surge in immigration cases since increased enforcement began in the state of last December. And watching a Super Bowl in the stands is a dream come true for many fans. But what about attending every single one of them? Here's ABC's Will Gaines with that story.
In the history of the NFL, no team, not the Pats nor the Seahawks, has been to the big game more than this one.
They're like family. I mean, you know, we have a special bond.
They're called the Never Miss a Super Bowl Club, and this trio hasn't missed a single championship game since 1967.
Well, just think about it. The first one, $10, $6, and $8, and 4,500 people in a 100,000 seat arena. And look what it is today.
This year, some 120 million fans are expected to be watching at home, and tens of thousands will be watching from Levi's Stadium. But for Don, Tom, and Gregory, it's a trip they've made happen 60 times, against all odds.
I remember at 30's a good number I'm done. Patriots got in 31, I couldn't miss that.
Don, a Pats fan, thrilled his team is back today for a record 12th Super Bowl appearance. But each of these octogenarians is tapping into that first football game feeling.
It was in my blood. Oh, I love football. It's just a fascinating game.
A shakeup at one of the country's most respected newspapers. On Saturday, Will Lewis announced he is stepping down as publisher and CEO of the Washington Post. The news came just days after the Post laid off about 1/3 of its staff. That includes at least 300 journalists in the newsroom. Lewis wrote in a note to staff that after 2 years of transformation at the Washington Post, now is the right time for me to step aside. Post journalists celebrated the news. They blame Lewis for failing to turn around the Post fortunes. The paper announced Chief Finance Officer Jeff will take over as acting publisher and CEO. Experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. Stream our daily newscasts and much more using your connected TV. Just download Crossroads Today Plus on your Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or Android TV. Search Crossroads Today Plus.
Well, the spring weather is going to stick around for here just for a little bit. We do have rain chances as well as a cold front towards the end of the week. We'll talk about that coming up. Well, tomorrow's going to be relatively about the same as what we've experienced today. A little bit on the warmer side for the morning, however, but really just a thin layer of upper level clouds that we may see from time to time. And temperature is going to be right around the 80-degree mark. Now, we do have a mid-upper level disturbance that's going to move across from the Pacific into the northern parts of Texas. That'll help stir up some thicker cloud cover here within the mid-levels, but it's really going to keep the more rain activity a lot farther north around the I-10 corridor, regardless of whether it continues to move up farther north or farther down south. That's based off the mid-level system. So we're going to continue to watch this very carefully. But as of right now, I'm giving it about a 20% chance for some shower activity here for us here. So 5 a.m. here Wednesday, that system's going to continue to push down across the I-10 corridor and give us just a brief opportunity to see some shower activity here for the day across the Crossroads region. But overall, not really looking at much with it. Temperatures are still going to relatively remain right around 80 degrees here. So as we look to Monday, we'll be right around 80 here. But as we go to Tuesday, the day that system moves through, we'll be waking up into the upper 50s to the low 60s here for us. And temperatures once again capping out right around the 80-degree mark. But then we see a quick little stall here within the system here that's going to be pushing out for Wednesday morning based off of that mid-level system. So it doesn't really bring a frontal system down south. It just brings a little bit of a boundary layer that ends up stalling out here for us because we once again get more of a southerly flow here, and that keeps our temperatures right around 80 degrees here once again for Wednesday. Now we go ahead and we look farther in advance once the mid-level system continues to push farther out south here. Let's see what's the computer. There we go. So we have that mid-level system that's going to push out here for Tuesday into Wednesday, but then high pressure follows right after. And that's going to really increase our temperatures here as we go through the day. But then we look farther out. This is going to be our next system that we're going to continue to watch for here to possibly give us a decent chance at some shower activity for the weekend times here. So we go to Friday, and that system starts to take a bit of a southerly path here just down south to New Mexico and Arizona, and then eventually makes its way here into Texas to help stir up some shower activity, hopefully, and as well as bring down a cold front. Not really going to bring some very cold conditions, but it's going to bring us some not so spring-like weather. We'll be back into more around the 60s, upper 60s to low 70s, with temperatures in the morning right around the low 50s to upper 40s here for us. And this is what we're watching for. We're going to see the line of shower activity pick up there for Friday. And then by Saturday, this is where the European model is taking it, with the frontal boundary moving in there by Saturday afternoon, giving us a pretty moderate chance for some shower activity. But overall, it's going to be feeling quite warm here for the next couple of days until we get to that point. Southerly winds at about 12 miles per hour, 80 degrees. Sunnier skies for the day. Port Lavaca going to be seeing that as well. Maybe a little bit of fog as well in the morning for them, and 75 degrees with the winds picking up out of the south at about 14 miles per hour, as well as Cuero. Going to be seeing some of that fog in the morning, and then we'll be jumping right back into the 80s for the high. Overall, pretty spring-like is what we're going to call it here for us. We're going to be right around the 80s. Do drop down into the low 70s and the mid 50s here for Sunday morning with more of the sunny skies. So we're going to watch for Saturday as well as Tuesday night into Wednesday for those rain opportunities. Now don't forget to scan the QR code for more news, weather, and sports. And speaking of sports, we got Ray.
Thank you, Jacob. The Jags lit up the LCU tournament with the big win, but stumbled in a nail-biter against LSU Alexandria. Find out the details. Stay with us. A split victories for the A&M Victoria softball team yesterday as they hit the road in Pineville, Louisiana. After yesterday's games, they now hold a 6-2 record and still boast a flawless record at home. However, yesterday's matchups against two different teams didn't quite go as hoped, as they might have left a bit to be desired. Yesterday, the Jags took part in the LCU tournament, and it was definitely an up and down day for them as they kicked off Saturday's games with a strong performance against Central Baptist, dominating the match with a final score of 6-0. Madison Carr stood out with 2 RBIs, making it clear this game could be a great sign of things to come. But however, the second game of the tournament would be their last as they fall close in a defensive battle against LSU Alexandria with the final score of 3-1. And in some more weekend action from our Crossroads athletes, thank you to Victoria West High School Facebook page. Let's talk about them as they're gearing to send 2 wrestlers to the state championship next weekend. And it is the ladies' side. Isabella Leal finished second in her weight class, and Peyton Mikan took 3rd place in that same weight class. So it looked like we got some, in-school beef going on with the state championship. These ladies stepped up and dominated in Corpus and are now fired up and ready for state. And some weekend powerlifting action takes us to Luis, and we got some of the results from Ganado. They had a strong showing, pun intended. Abriel Enriquez and Brian Martinez both took home first place finishes, while Tyler Henderson, Jaden Hernandez, and Brianna Guerrero and Liliana Lazo each earned third place medals in their respective weight classes. Congratulations to these outstanding athletes. And let's go ahead and shine a light on some middle school athletics in the Crossroads area. Taking you to El Maiden, where Tidehaven Middle School made waves. Their 7th grade team finished the season undefeated in basketball, claiming the district championship, while the 8th grade squad came through with back-to-back tournament titles. The future of high school hoops at Tidehaven High School is definitely looking very bright. And over on the hardwood, it's women's college, on women's college hoops as the A&M Aggies take on Alabama. A&M is facing one of the top teams in women's college basketball right now. Alabama is ranked 21 with an impressive 20-4 record so far. A&M has held their own in a balanced first quarter. Here's the current score as the Aggies look like they got the lead right now going into halftime, 31-29. And with the Super Bowl underway, we've got some Victoria representation. It's on the Patriots side. Victoria native Landon Sampson is currently serving as a scout for New England, and you can see him soaking in the Super Bowl atmosphere down at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. And speaking of Texas, the Super Bowl, there are 19 players from the Lone Star State in this year's game, with the Patriots boasting the most with 12 players. And speaking of the Super Bowl, the action is underway right now in NBC, and as of this recording, the current score sees the Seahawks scoring a field goal with 3 points, and the Patriots is 0. So it's a big night for football. I mean, I think, it's evident that, the state of Texas is probably rooting for the Patriots. You got 12 players on that team, all from the state of Texas. So go Patriots, and I hope you guys are enjoying your Super Bowl. Eat some pizza, have some nachos, and just enjoy it. But that does it for your sports. Amaya?
Thank you, Ray. This weekend could be the perfect time to head outside. Sunday is National Kite Flying Day, and we're sharing the history and safety tips to help your kite soar. Next. This weekend could be the perfect time to enjoy some outdoor fun. Sunday is National Kite Flying Day. The day has been celebrated for more than 15 years, but kites have a much longer history dating back to ancient China. Around 47 BC, early kites were once used to send message and even spy on enemies. That's interesting.
You got drones for that in 2025, so you don't need to use a kite to spy on enemies. You got drones for it.
I mean, that was during their time, though. They used a kite. They didn't see the string
For sure, yeah.
flying in the air. I mean, beautiful. You know what? The weather is beautiful.
It is.
I think this is a great time to fly kites.
Definitely. We had a couple windy days as well, and we're going to see a couple more windy days as we go into our forecast. Looking at tomorrow, southerly winds at about 15 miles per hour, and Tuesday, southerly winds at about 16 miles per hour. So that's pretty good for some kite flying, I would say there, when temperatures right around the 80s. But we do have a little disturbance that rolls through here for Tuesday night into Wednesday, giving us a 20% chance for some possible shower activity. I think it's going to be more around the I-10 corridor that we see more of that rain. But then we look to Saturday, and we have another cold front rolling through. This will be our better opportunity for some rain, as well as dropping our temperatures back into the low 50s and likely some low 70s here for us.
Wow,
So
might get another little cool.
a little bit cooler.
We'll see. Well, thank you for joining us. We hope you'll be with us tonight for 25 News Now Weekend at 10. See you.
Go Patriots.